which is a fruit machine simulator. The idea of this game, you start with £100 and the aim is to make £250. And very addictive game. Right. Next we have Daley Thompson's Star Events, which is really a tricky game to play. Plus it does take ages to load. It takes about 7 or 8 minutes. Because it loads the first bit up, then the screen flashes ready, then you type run, and then you've got 8 minutes for it to load. So very long, tedious loading. This is a neat game, which is similar to the old arcade game Centipede, which is a unique game where you gotta shoot all the villains again. Right, here's one which unfortunately doesn't load, sadly. Olympic Ski, although it looks good, it doesn't load, sadly. It keeps saying break error for some reason. This is a really tricky game. Puzzle game. Oblido. This is really very tricky to play. But as you can see, some of the games I've shown you were all from the Mastertronic label, which was hugely popular in the 80s, up until the early 90s when it was rebranded as Tronix. Which I don't understand why, but that's really tricky. Here's one which is another tricky game, Video Meanies, again on the Mastertronic label. Well, this is really a tricky game to play because you've got to try and avoid these villains who keep attacking you. And you've got to save the video shop. And here's another one which sadly also doesn't load, called Roller Kong. Looking at the screenshots, it's similar to Donkey Kong, but I'm gutted because it doesn't load. Again, it says break error when you try to load it. Here's a really tricky racing game, Formula 1 Simulator. This is of course a very tricky game to play, because you're basically removing the joystick, and it's really tricky. Right, this is a very funny one. One Man and His Droid. You basically got to round up the alien sheep and send them back to planet Earth. Now this was also a thing released for the Commodore 64 as well, and some of the other computers at the time. Speed King, which is a motorcycling simulation. Again, really tricky because as it's really difficult to go around the corners. So that's another. This is a good game, Squirm. The idea is you play this little creature who has to gather up these eggs that this worm lays. But while you're in there, there's this light that goes about you've got to keep catching. And of course, also, you've got to avoid these other worms who are out to try and stop you from collecting the eggs. This is 2 games in one. This first one is Mission Mars, which is a very unique, tricky game, because you're playing a series of levels. And the other one, Rockman, which in a way is slightly similar to Boulder Dash, where you gotta collect the jewels and stuff, but you got these villains coming after you. So another game. Right, here are 2 programs which are not games. These came along with a book. It's called An Introduction to Basic, which is a two-tape collection of programs teaching you about the Commodore 16 and the Plus 4. And that comes with the accompanying book. But next one, Beachhead, sadly another one that sadly doesn't load, which looks good. Looking at the screenshots. Right, this is actually 4 programs. These are 2 games, which are on one side, and then on side 2 you got Rolf Harris's Picture Builder and a chess game. Right. Another another game, BMX Racers. Again, this is very tricky to control. The bike rider. So, right. And last 2, Hustle, which is a pool game, which again sadly doesn't load. Again, I get the break error problem. So if there's anybody who's got any ideas what I should do, then you can basically reply to the messages on. But there's one last game, and it's called Reach for Sky, which is an aeroplane shoot 'em up, which you play like it's like doing a war, and you're shooting the planes. Very neat game. But that's all the games, and I hope you've enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you like what you see, or you want to make a comment on the clips. So thank you for watching this clip and the earlier loading one. Thank you.